Welcome back to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell. This week's special guest is Iwan Steffan, a Welsh-born content creator whose haunting stories have captured millions online. In this episode, Iwan opens up about growing up in Wales, being bullied in school, battling addiction, and the moment everything changed. A spiritual awakening that led him to start TikToking during lockdown. It's raw, vulnerable, and one of the most honest conversations we've had on this podcast. Thanks for listening and watching this episode.
The worst thing that could happen happened. First thing someone said to me was, haha, your mum's died. I asked them, how did you find me to do this TV show? TikTok. One video is a lottery ticket and it can change your whole life.
Welcome to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell, and this week's special guest is Iwan Steffan. Really looking forward to sharing the Good, the Bad and the Ugly. How are we?
How are we? I'm so happy to be here, you know.
Thank you very much.
I have watched a few of your episodes and I think you're a great interviewer.
Oh, thank you very much.
I
appreciate that. Thanks very much for that compliment. But listen, you and I've we came across yourself. Well, we were introduced by your best mate, Katie Newell.
Yeah.
Which we're very grateful for. And you know, your story is one that's about struggles, adversities, and fight, and never ever giving up. So listen, let's get right into it. So where you from? Where you grew up? Family life and school life was like?
So I'm from a little small village in Wales, very rural, very small, and it was a great childhood. Welsh is my first language, so that's all I speak with my family still today. And English was more of a second language, even though we still knew it. And I grew up in the little small village, and it was a really nice community. It was kind of like everyone knows each other. You could leave your back door open, and you know, we was always around nature, and it kind of felt like the less materialistic things. We weren't, you know, I know this is going forward, but I remember moving to Liverpool and my head fell off that I could have Mackies anytime. I still pinch myself sometimes, but it was just really peaceful, very safe. There was not really any drugs or anything like that. It was very safe, and my family were wonderful. When I look back, I always say this, and I feel so lucky because when I look back, I feel like it was the perfect upbringing.
Yeah.
Which not a lot of people can say that.
No, but that's it, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like you say, where you're from, and you're proud to be from where you're from.
I'm very proud.
And where you grew up and stuff. But did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah. So growing up, I had two older sisters, so I was the baby, and my dad's got another two children now. So I've got another sister and another brother. So it's a big family by now. But growing up, it was me and my two sisters, and they were just so wonderful to me all the time. You know, they made a fuss of the baby brother, and a lot of love, you know, a lot of protection, and a lot of care. So just really nice memories. Yeah.
What was school like for you?
So primary school was lovely because it was so small, and I was always really, I don't want to say different, but I want to say because I feel like on podcasts, everyone says that I was a bit different. And I don't think that's a good thing to say, but I was not like everyone else. I was always very feminine. And I don't mean acting like a girl. I mean gentle and very soft. And I wasn't really playing the sports. I'd rather talk about the way that I felt and things like that. So, you know, primary school was happy memories. It was happy memories. But secondary school was difficult because people, you know, kids, they say things, you know, and you don't realise the impact. So when I went to secondary school, and of course that's a completely different thing, it was a lot bigger. It was very difficult. It was very, very difficult. I would, at lunch times and stuff, I remember sitting down in the toilet cubicle on my own having lunch, because when you used to go around the tables, you need to find somewhere to sit. No one would have me on the table, so I had to sit in the cubicle like this or in a field by myself. And I was really scared because occasionally people were violent towards me. You know, I was getting called. It was always
Bullied? Would you being bullied and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was bullied. But I have to make this point because I'm very truthful. I wasn't nice to everyone because I was hurting myself. So hurt people, don't they? And I'm not saying I was, you know, a massive bully with a big thing, but I sometimes could pick on people, and it was because I wasn't in a good place. But since then, in the recent years, I've reached out to them people that I wasn't great to and said, I am aware of how I treated you, and I want you to know that.
But that takes a lot. That takes a lot. That's to open up and be honest, because, you know, I could quite easily said, well, you know what, I can understand if you're being... It's like that thing where you're prodding the tiger or the lion through the cage and then it just snaps and stuff. And I could have easily said that, but you know, you're opening up to say, look, yeah, I was, but then I wasn't very nice.
That's it. So I think you have to own it. So, and you have to, I have a big thing now where I live my truth in every way. So I try and be as authentic as possible. And some of the people that I was not kind to in school, I sent them a message on Facebook a few years ago, and I said to them, I am aware of some of the things that I said to you, and that mustn't have been nice, so I want you... And they were like, oh, don't be silly. But I was like, no, I want you to know it's important that you know that I feel that.
Yeah.
So lots of love, you know?
Yeah, that's it. But like you say, moving to secondary school can be very daunting from primary school, and like you're saying difference or whatever, you just listen, certain things that you like doing and certain things that you didn't like doing, and you're finding yourself as a kid and stuff. But in secondary school it can be hard and stuff, but as you got into secondary school, going through secondary school, I believe you lost your mum, was that right?
Yeah, so when I was 13, my mum, she was like amazing. She was. I'm so gutted these days because I don't really have much memories and I only have so much photos. So it does, you know, it's difficult, as you can imagine, because in this day and age we have phones and we have, you know, social media and all things. It's difficult when the only things you have left are photos.
When you say that to people, the kids now, they go, what a photo. You know, I mean, obviously it's all done on the phones and stuff, but obviously losing your mum at an early age.
My mother, my mother passed. I was showered with so much love as a kid, you know, and we never went without, and I was very, very lucky to have her for that long. I was, and my mum got skin cancer, and it was melanoma, so it was like the worst type that you can get. I think it still is, even today. And within, you know, months, she passed away. And it obviously, I don't really feel like I need to say a sentence to describe. I'm sure you can imagine. But it was like the worst thing that could happened.
Yeah.
And that was it. But I'll never forget the first day I went back to school, and the first thing someone said to me was, haha, your mum's died.
Fucking hell.
And like it was like taking a bullet, you know. And it really hurt. But again, the person who said that to me, I've got them on Facebook now, and her mum died last year, and I messaged her and I said, I'm so sorry, you know. So
do you know what, you know, when you say that, like, you're a kid, you're 13, you're just becoming a teenager, you're finding your way a little bit,
yeah,
you're having a few struggles, you know, going through school and that, and then I couldn't even imagine, like, you know what I mean, someone close to you, and then it's like, because kids can be cruel, you know, even when we were younger and that, you know, I probably was, you know, sometimes, you know, a little bit fucking daft and stuff, and you say things, but when you just said that about, like, haha, your mum's died, and it's just...
It was horrific, and, you know, I'm sure that person doesn't even realise today that they said that, but, you know, it just wasn't nice at the time. But in terms of pain, you know, I do wish so much now that she could see me as a grown-up, and that's what I'm absolutely gutted about sometimes, is the fact that you don't have that maternal thing to turn to.
Yeah.
It can be difficult, because it would be nice to have that mother figure there. And I often think as well, maybe I wouldn't be here today, and I don't mean not alive, maybe I wouldn't be in Liverpool if she was still here. I'm not sure, couldn't.
She would have let you to do what you're doing.
But as I consider myself a spiritual person or whatever you want to call it, I believe in something more. I'm not sure what it is. I do feel that even though it was horrific, it did give me so much as well.
Yeah.
So, you can use your trauma to your advantage if you let it. So a lot of people that go through a lot of trauma, which we will discuss further, a lot of people walk around, I've been through so much, and they use it as an excuse to self-destruct, or they use it as an excuse to, I've been through so much, and you can actually use all these things to your advantage, but people don't.
Of course, and when you put it like that, because I'm sure Katie mentioned exactly the same thing. She said on her episode that she was having a moment or a pity party, I think she said, and you said to her, right, just being honest, being a friend and saying, look, this is how you got to turn it around and use this, get out of it and stop doing what you're doing, because you can use this to your with what you're going through and stuff like that, and it sort of made her sit up and listen, and she said she had you to thank for that. But when you put it like that, Ewan, it's like a positive message, because like you say,
it is like, it's obviously, like, do I wish it happened? No,
of course not.
But at the end of the day, it gave me wisdom that you can't really read in a book, or that you can't. It gave me a lot, and today it's given me more than anything. If I go through something traumatic today, if I lose someone, I can deal with it now. So and if it wasn't for things like horrific things like that, I wouldn't be able to cope. So thank you. Thank you.
So from there, obviously losing your mum, and you've got your sisters and stuff like that, and you went through other traumatic things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You was groomed, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah. So I'm very open about this, and
I know it's a very subject, and that's why I wanted to.
Do you know what so anything that's hurt me in my life, I have made peace with it. Anything that hurts you, you must make peace with it to let it go. Whether that is an ex-partner or a friend, it's as long as you're hating, you've still got feelings for it. It's like an umbilical cord; you're attached to it. And what happened when I was about, I think I was 15 or 16, but at the time, like, men having sex with men, I think it was 18 back in the day. So it wasn't like, I don't know what it is now, I think it's 16. And someone owned a bar in North Wales, and they were known for doing that to people and drugging them first. And I remember, because I was still in the closet, even though everyone was saying I was gay, it had been drilled into me that much that being gay was such a bad thing. I was so scared to say it.
You were scared to come out, was you? Or
yeah, I was so scared because no one was. And this person who owned the bar invited me down, and they were like, we'll give you a free bar. And obviously that age, you think it's boss, don't you? You're like, oh my God, I'm going to go, I'm going to get bladdered. This is ideal, because it's like something, it's naughty, isn't it? And I remember I went and I had my first drink, and I was just on the tables, just completely passed out, being sick.
You've been drugged, had you?
I mean, I can't say for certain, but
you don't, off one drink, that doesn't do,
it was a WKD.
It's not going to do that, is it?
I was being sick, and my brain switched on, but my body was off. And this person said to me, I'll take you home in a taxi, but they didn't. They took me to theirs, carried me in, and then took advantage of me. But at the time, I thought, oh my God, I've just slept with someone. Because that was my only experience of it. So that was my first ever time.
Experience, yeah.
So for me, I was like, I felt on top of the world, to be honest, after it, because I didn't realise what it was. I only realised that it was at about 27 years old, and I'm 35 now. And I freaked out when I kind of realised what it was, because I realised that isn't love, and it's not normal.
And it's not as if it's been consensual sort of thing, because you were like, this, what you was just explaining there, you'd had a drink, your body, you're not in control of your body, you're you know, it's not as if like it's, you know, you know, you don't know what you're doing or you don't know what's happening.
No, and it's a really weird story, to be honest, because normally, do you know, if a sexual assault happens, some of the time, a lot, not of the time, people, you know, as soon as it happens, they get tested, they get reported. This was 17 years later that I realised what it was, because I was thinking about my past, and I thought, that person raped me, like, he raped me, he by grooming me with alcohol, and he did that, and I freaked out at 27, and it was a proper shock to the system. I did go to the police, but the police were realistic, because 95% of sexual assault cases, they do not go to the court.
It's the CPS,
No, they do not make it, which is such a shame. However, when I talk about making peace with things, I did what I could, and that was enough. So in my head, I wanted you to know that I know what you did. And that was enough. He was arrested in his workplace, which was great. It wasn't the ideal outcome. However, it was powerful. So,
yeah. But you wanted, you know, listen, it's not, let's be honest, you know, for anyone to do that to anybody, it's not acceptable, simple as that. You know, it's for someone to do that to anybody, male or female, it's totally wrong, it's outrageous. And whether it be 7 hours ago, 7 weeks ago, 7 months ago, 7 years ago, 17 years ago, the person, you know, survivor, because people say, I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor.
Yeah.
And I get what they mean.
Yeah.
So a survivor has had to live with that torment and the back, you know, having flashbacks and stuff like that, and you know, that must have been like that for you. You know what I mean?
Well, what I did was I took the drugs route. So I was so traumatized by it at 27. I got addicted to, like, I was taking a lot of prescription drugs and had to get help, and I didn't understand why I was doing it, but it was because of that. But I'm going to say this again, that was a great lesson for me, and it gave me so much. So it was a shame that it happened to me when I was young. However, it did teach me exactly how not to treat somebody, and it did give me strength and wisdom and courage. So it was a gift. It was a gift.
Do you know when you say it like that, you know, where other people might go, you know, because a lot of people who do go through trauma,
yeah,
or sexual assaults and stuff, or whatever it is, they turn to drink and they turn to drugs because that's their way of, like, what's the name, and blanking stuff out. And with what you're saying, I sort of, you know, you come to how to deal with things. And I like you said about the umbilical cord. If you know, you're attached to something, you know, you cut it away. I don't want to know. Do you know what I mean? Just mute, you know, and it's great that you can have that mindset, you know what I mean? And
whoever, like, the person that did that to me, like, I'm saying this, like, I forgive. I forgive, because
really?
I do, because if I'm still angry about it, then I'm still holding, so it grows on you like a tumour. It's like a disease that rots you away. And if you just hold, it doesn't mean that I want to be friends, or that I'm good, say hello in the Asda. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be like, it's never going to be never going to be like that. But it's just like, this is your thing that you can have. I'm not having that. But at the same time, you know, I am traumatized. I am traumatized. So, you know, not everything's fine. I forgot about it. I am, and I always will be.
But you deal with it in a certain way. And
anything that hurts us, we must forgive and let go.
Yeah.
Even, you know, like, I had, when I first moved to Liverpool in 2008, I was with a partner on and off for a decade, and he was older than me, and we went through everything. He did things wrong, I did a lot of things wrong. He's one of my best friends, you know, and he was such a big chapter in my story, and he taught me, he gave me lessons that nobody could teach me. And even though he wasn't the one or whatever thing, and we did not work, he's my biggest supporter and I'm his. And if anything happened to him, I would die. Like, I'd be awful. And that's the message that I try and get across to everyone. It's not, you don't have to be friends or anything like that, but anything that harms you or didn't work out for you, it does not mean that you have to look back in anger. You make peace with things and you let it go, because it's a part of your story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's any ex-partner or anything like that, there's no bad blood. I don't do that.
No, that's a strong message. Like, and it's good that you have that outlook on it and stuff like that. But are you saying you're struggling with addiction, with, was it drink and drugs, or was it just prescribed, or?
So, because I've had quite a big history with addiction, so I can't do things by halves. So
You're all in or nothing.
if you like, if I can't get one tattoo, I have to be covered. Or if I, wear crystals, I have to wear millions. If I go shopping, I can't spend 20 quid. It's going to be hundreds. Like, I cannot do anything. If I eat loads, or if I do, or nothing. So I can't do things by halves. And in terms of career, that is fantastic. But in terms of substance, that is not good.
Yeah, yeah.
So I always drank. I was a binge drinker.
You didn't drink every day, so
No.
The weekend had come, but you'd put it away. Like,
Yeah. But
I think like a lot of people, though, you, and let's be honest.
Yeah. It's
But you didn't want the party to stop.
No, I was never like that.
Oh, right.
Do you know what? I was never like that. When I moved, I didn't really start taking substances till I moved to Liverpool. Never.
Right. Okay.
I think I'd had a Gary in Wales and a spliff or something.
Yeah.
But when I moved to Liverpool, it's like it didn't go out of control straight away. It was like occasional, and then as time went on, never really like smoked weed or anything. But it was more things like having ecstasy and things like that. And then as the years went on, I was addicted to ketamine for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time, and I'm talking, I'd say about 7 years.
Really?
I used, but that was a reflection of things I wasn't dealing with, and my unhappiness and my unstable job and my things like that. Because in school, like, I didn't really pass anything. And
you had no qualifications when you let, you know what I mean?
I had one, and that was in Welsh. And I mean, in Wales, that's amazing, and I'm proud to have it. But when you come into England where they speak English, I didn't really have anything on paper that would help me. So when I moved to Liverpool after college in Wales, it was really difficult. So yeah.
You're saying about obviously being addicted to ketamine because, but like you're saying, like I've just said there, you're dealing with so much, and like you're probably thinking that's your way of dealing with certain things, and taking it. And
but there was always something. So it was ketamine, and then in the more recent years, it would be cocaine on the night out.
Yeah.
But do you know what? I have to say, I was never spending loads on it. But it would always come. So even if it was just a little tiny bit, it's still a problem because I couldn't go to 2 drinks without it. And I think I'm 17 months off alcohol now.
Really?
I am, yeah.
And how do you feel now? Do you feel?
Well, I quit alcohol. I wasn't a big drinker anyway. Like by the end, like I wasn't really drinking anyway. But with alcohol, because of my beliefs, which I will explain. I'm going to explain this to you, and you're going to think I'm insane. But with alcohol, so for me personally, this is just what I believe, but on a spiritual level. So the word alcohol, it comes from an Arabic word called alcohol, and what it translates to is body eating spirit. Now, why spirits called spirits? And what I think alcohol does, it puts literal holes in your aura. And it invites negative energies in, and that's why you forget things and say things you wouldn't say. People cheat on the fellas, people do things. It's just an extremely low vibration poison that the government want to keep us on, so we all stay on a level where we're happy for 2 days of the week, and then we're miserable Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, and then Thursday you want to party again.
Yeah. It's like a what's the name circle, isn't it?
It's horrendous, and like I don't judge. Don't get me wrong. I have friends that drink. I have friends that still do coke and things like that.
How do you deal with that when you're out with them?
I don't like to be around it. I don't like to be around my friends if they're intoxicated. I don't have anything against it, but if I have my time with you, I like to have a time to remember that you can remember and that I can remember. The only thing, like, I kind of, I was, doing the ketamine and the coke and things like that. And I was bad on the ketamine, but someone I knew died recently, the Vivian, because I knew him from, he was one of the people that knew me from when I first moved here. And, that,
Yeah.
but I haven't done ket in 7-8 years. It's been ages, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the time, it was, there was a little bit of a problem.
But when that happened to James, the Vivian, that was another reminder of why I'm on the right path. It was just like, this is why you don't do this anymore. And I was like, I know, I understand.
Yeah.
Because it broke my heart, that. As the years went on, it was like I got into like a bit of a spiritual awakening, and it's different for everyone. But what it was for me, because I always, can I swear?
Of course you can, yeah.
So ever since I moved to Liverpool, because I had no qualifications or anything like that, I always worked shit jobs, awful jobs, cash in hand, commission, selling shots and key rings, photo key rings in the bars. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember Pink?
Yeah.
That's where I was. And I was getting no money, and God, a lot of the times, like, I was constantly couldn't even pay rent. It was horrific. I thought so many times, should I just move home? Should I just move back?
Was you going to go back to Wales?
Yeah, I have dinner on the table there. I have friends.
Roof over your head.
I have everything. I don't need to stress, and even though I was always around people, you can still be the loneliest in the room,
Of course, yeah.
Even you can have all the people in the world, but if you're on your own, you're on your own. And a lot of the times it was, it was extremely difficult. It was extremely, extremely difficult. And I remember, I always have this one memory. I remember once when I lived in this shared house years ago, and I didn't have no food. I had mouldy bread. I used to have to like cut pieces out of it to eat it. And I remember one week that was really particularly difficult. I had £5 to last me the whole week, and the noodles in Lidl were 10p, so I could get 25 packets of them, and then £2.50 on tobacco, and then I could just drink tap water, and then that'll be enough for the week. And if I'm lucky, I can get £2 to get a bottle of cider before I go out, and then just go to the free nightclubs. That I can sort myself out, like that, make it work. So a lot of people, do you know, when they see you now, they think, it's
always been like that.
You've had it so easy, you get given everything on a plate. I know what it's like to struggle, believe me, like I've been there for a long time. So that's why I'm so grateful and not entitled.
Do you know what? When you just hit it, like, it sort of hits home a little bit, because when people are struggling and stuff, like you just said there, you had a fiver to your name and stuff, and then you're doing the sums and you're thinking, I can get so many packs of noodles, and I can get me, you know what I mean, I can get me tobacco, or and then I can maybe get, and you're trying to juggle certain things, and then people just don't know exactly. No. This is why I wanted you to come on, because everyone will know, your presence on social media and stuff, and what you do, and it's fantastic what you do. But hearing and finding out the real Iwan Steffan, you know what I mean, and what you've, like you said, mouldy bread, and it's fucking
things like that you remember. Is it's like, because obviously now, like, I do feel like I have to say, not being a smug person or anything, like, I've got pretty much my dream life, and I do a lot with my work. I do a lot of events, I do a lot of restaurant reviews, I do a lot of just things like you could never imagine in a million years, that are things I've been able to do. And I always smile sometimes, and I look back and I think, I can't believe this. Like, I just can't believe it. It's such a humbling thing. And one of the things that I'm not big on, and I did used to be this way, because, you know, by now I just tell the truth. I'm really not big on ego at all. I don't find it an attractive thing, but I did used to be a bit more, you know,
Yeah.
me, but I'm deeper than that.
I think as you get a bit older, I think it's like you sort
It's
of...
nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice. It's just pure wisdom, because a lot of people are me. I'm getting this. Me, my profile, my personality. I mean, we all love to be successful. I'm not saying, you know, I celebrate my wins. I absolutely do, but it's just so much less about ego now, because so much people are focused on it. It's not attractive. I don't think. When I see someone who's so authentic, doesn't care what they look like, doesn't dress like anyone else, doesn't follow the crowd, that for me is
You're my type of person.
attractive.
Yeah,
It's attractive. It's and that's why, like, you know, I'm always a bit different, And
there's nothing wrong with being different or whatever, you know.
No.
It's like everyone's got their own style, everyone's got their own personality,
Yeah.
everyone's got, you know, this is what I think now with today, you know, there's nothing wrong with being, if someone wants to wear a certain type of, like, pair of jeans, or it's, you know, and stuff like that. But it is what it is. It's just too much.
For years, I was one of them, especially in Liverpool. I was Balenciaga, Moschino, Cheetham Hill, of course. I was like head to toe in fake designer clothes to make people like me, just to realise that no one cares. And what made me so special was that I wanted to be a little bit different.
Did you want to be like, I mean, listen, what you know, because you know what you've just said, and it's sort of what's the name, me, because when you said when you're on your own, you've got all these people who, and when you're on your own and you sat and you thought,
Yeah.
and you don't want to, what's the name, pass your problems on to other people or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you sat on your own, when, say for instance, if you could see someone who's struggling, a friend or whatever, you're there and you reach out to them and saying, look, come on now, it's this, that and the other. But when it's like yourself, it's even like when you were saying about like the mouldy bread and the noodles and stuff like that, I think you're that much of a proud person and stuff that you don't want to fucking...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you don't want to feel like you've got to reach out and stuff. And
well, when I say that story to a lot of people are like, why wouldn't you contact your family, because they would have been there for you? I was too proud to say, can I have 20 quid? I was just too proud
I know,
to
yeah.
I don't want you to think that I'm not in a good place.
I'm struggling and whatever, yeah.
And do you know what? Again, them times were not easy to go through, but I'm so grateful that I went through them, because I wouldn't appreciate what I've got now. Do you know what I mean?
It's mad how you spin it like that, innit? Yeah.
So like you just, it was a gift. It was like that was supposed to happen, and it was like the years of struggle were a real gift that I will be able to look back on forever.
You know, it's turning like a positive from a negative, you know, a negative into a positive, should I say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you know, going forward a little bit from there. Hiya everyone, sorry to interrupt this episode, but here's a quick one from me. If you're enjoying the podcast and you enjoy what we're doing, you can now buy us a coffee. It's a simple way to keep those stories coming. No subscription, just that one-off bit of support. The link's in the description. Now back to the episode. You know, starting TikTok and lockdown.
Wow, yeah.
Where it all blew up. What type of content?
So this is gonna come all from what I was saying about spiritual awakening. And I know people say spiritual awakening and they laugh and they do have a joke and things like that. But mine, you've definitely heard of this. So I was working before lockdown, I was working in a sunbed shop. I was 30 years old, I was getting £6 an hour cash in hand. I was getting less than minimum wage, yeah. I was working 48 hours a week for like 300 and something pounds a week. It was horrendous. It was the worst job ever, but that's all I had.
Because you were getting cash in hand, like, yeah.
That's all I had. And I was taking drugs. I was taking cat from Friday to Monday. I was drinking, buying fake designer clothes to try and be liked, and just sitting in a sunbed shop like this. And it was just horrendous. Someone came in to me and said, you need to read this book. And I said, I don't fucking read. I said, fucking, do I look like a geek? And they went, no, you need to read this book. And the book was The Secret.
I knew you were going to say that then.
And have you read it?
I've not read it, but we've had a few guests on who said someone passed them a book or recommended this book.
So I bought it, went to Waterstones to buy it, and I remember I felt so out of place because this was not nothing that I would ever do is read. Now I read a book a week, but and I read this book, and I remember I got quite emotional because I was like, why doesn't anyone know this? And I was like, how doesn't it was so much to take in. And what I kind of realised is I learned about the law of attraction. So whatever you focus on, you get more of it. So, for example, people who always complain about money and the lack of it, what you're actually getting is more of it because you're always living in that mindset. People who moan about, I don't know, not losing weight, they never lose the weight and they hate the diet because they're so focused, they're in a negative, they feel bad about it. So what you actually get is more of it. And I thought, what if I just try thinking good thoughts and I'll see how it goes. I'll see how it goes. And my life changed overnight. My friends changed, my bank account changed, my career changed, everything changed. So that was the beginning of who I am today. And now, by today, it's completely different because obviously now I do meditation, you know, a lot. I do a lot of meditation. I do a lot of self-development. I'm sober. I basically live like a monk. I do, you know. I don't eat animals. I'm very careful about time and things like that, and who I give it to and who I don't give it to. And so, go into your question about TikTok. So I remember in lockdown. So do you remember when we were allowed out for an hour? Do you remember that?
For your fitness or something like that.
So lockdown, listen, it was hard for everyone.
Yeah.
It was hard for the rich, it was hard for the poor, it was hard for the people with family, it was hard for people without family. For me, I had no partner, no family. I was in a house by myself. So for me, it was really difficult because I was staying in and just taking drugs all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
And because my job was cash in hand, I had no furlough.
Yeah.
I had to go on the dole. And that was just obviously a nightmare. And I remember whenever I was like, what is this TikTok that everyone's getting? And I opened it first and I thought, this is just the dad dancing up for little kids. I'm doing this. I'm 30. And I started watching more and more of it. And I got this feeling that I got when I read The Secret. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be getting paid for this. I don't know how I'm going to do it. So I started thinking about what I could do. And I was thinking, right, could I be a food blogger? But there was a million of them. Could I be a fashion person? No, I'm too weird. Could I be someone that sings? I'm not a great singer. And I thought, what can I do that nobody has ever done on TikTok in Liverpool? I'll try ghost stories. I'll try doing ghost stories on TikTok. And when we were allowed out for 1 hour, I walked to Smithdown Road and I filmed a story about, it was one of the Tom Slemon stories, about a ghost story, about a lady that had passed away on Smithdown Road. And I went to bed that night and the video was shit. Now I can if you watch
your content was
if you watch my videos now, if you see them, it's like a film. It's drones. It's got fucking microphone voiceovers. It's got music that I've really researched, but it was just a really shaky little thing on the phone. But I went to bed that night and I woke up and it was on 324,000 views. And then I knew that was it then.
This is the path I'm going to go down.
So I started researching haunted Liverpool and I started visiting all these places in lockdown, St James Cemetery, Bold Street, Rodney Street, and it was going bigger and bigger and bigger. And by the time I got out of lockdown, I remember the day that we were allowed out, I'm sure it was April the 14th or July the 14th, the first thing I'd done was book a tattoo when we came out of lockdown. That was just, I was dying for it. And I got out of the taxi and I was recognised straight away. And I think I didn't have that much followers. I had like 40,000, which is still good.
Yes,
It's all right. But it was whatever. But people were like, oh my God, you're that ghost guy. And I was like, oh. I was like, people know. And it was amazing. And then from there, from the ghost stories, because the thing is, if you focus all your content on one thing, you're just going to get one type of work. So then I decided to, I was like, I'll try food reviews too. I'll add that in. So I went to a restaurant, paid for my food, and I did a review of it, and then the food invite come. Then I started doing film reviews. Do you know just my favourite horror films? Then I started getting invited to premieres. And then, so by today, I'm 260,000 followers.
Over a quarter of a million on
That's it. Over 62 million views this year so far. And the most of my horror content now, all off TikTok, gained a TV show off it.
Is it on iPlayer? Is that the one off?
Yeah,
The Haunted and
it is. And I've done a couple of TV shows. One was not horror. It was like we won a BAFTA for it. We did. That was the first show I ever did, and we were not me. It was the show that
yeah,
won it.
Of course, yeah.
So I'm not egoing myself up here, but we did. And
But to be proud of it, though, do you know what I mean?
but all of that work, do you know how I was, whatever you want to call it, headhunted or whatever you want to call it, because I don't have a manager. I wouldn't have one. I like doing it myself.
Yeah.
I'm very business minded. All of that was from TikTok. I asked them, how did you find me to do this TV show? TikTok.
So they do, like, you know what I mean? They watch these, platforms and stuff like that.
So they can get you to social media. I always say to my friends, who are doing it, like one video is a lottery ticket, and it can change
Just blow up
your
like
whole
that.
life. Like I did a stupid video last year, and it got 4 million views, and it was a comedy one. So it was where I answered the door when I'd ordered an Uber Eats and I'd ordered a load of food. And I'd pretended that someone else was in the house, so it didn't make me look fat. So when the delivery man came to the door, I was like, "Oh, everyone's the food's here." So do you know, no one thought I was greedy, and I put it on. Got 4 million views. Got a collab with Uber Eats. Got a collab with Nando's. So whatever you're putting out there,
Yeah.
it can get you opportunities and things like, just really crazy stuff. Like I got to go to Eurovision. Like in Liverpool, like did loads of work with them on that. And now I'm in the middle of filming my season 2 of my Paranormal show. So I think one of the things I'm really proud of is I've done all that without management.
Well, that's what saying to yourself, because, like you say, you like managing. You manage your diary. I know it can be a little bit, if you're busy and stuff like that. But if there's something that you don't want to do, you just, you know what I mean. And if an opportunity comes, it's you who makes the decision where someone else isn't making it for you. You know what I mean.
But you have to as well. Like when you start doing that social media thing, you have to be ready for that world. It's not, yourself. It's not for the faint-hearted. I get abuse every day. I get forums written about me. I get all kinds, but it's only powerful if you make it powerful, and I don't give any energy to that.
And I was about to say, how do you, social media and stuff like that it can be a great platform, but it can be a fucking horrific place.
Listen, I get paid for views, so whether you're commenting good or bad, every single one is adding to the bank.
Yeah.
So keep doing it. That's why I would never block anybody that writes bad comments, because I need them to pay the bills.
That's just the way you're looking at it, you know what I mean?
So if the next time you think you're writing something horrible to someone, don't forget you're helping them.
Yeah.
You are. And if you really want someone to fail, use block them, because then the content doesn't get seen and blah, 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 blah. But by engaging on it,
just creating a bot's name
you're
for
helping
it.
them, especially when they're monetizing off it. Do you know what I mean? Like I've woke up to messages from people being like, you comparing me to the Holocaust and, really awful stuff. But I just think, little do you know, you're paying my rent.
Well, that's a botsing way to look at it, because obviously, where some people, would probably look at it a different way. But no, it's good that you've got that mindset and stuff like that. But do you plan your content, or are the best ones spontaneous?
I'm very organised.
Yeah,
I'm very,
I was going to say that.
organised. So I actually I don't just do social media. I have my own business, so I'm a social media manager for different businesses. So basically, I run their Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, where I visit their sites once or a few times a week. I get everything I need, and I post for them, so they get the maximum exposure. I run all their accounts for them. So I do all these businesses at the moment. I'm doing 5 or 6 businesses, but then I also do my own. So I do tend to kind of think the day before, what should I do?
Some planning that though, isn't it?
It is, because so say now if you're doing a ghost story, it's like, obviously you can run out of things, but I like to go back to certain areas. If I think, I haven't done one on Bold Street in ages, I'll go back there tomorrow. And then, it's interesting. But a lot of the people as well, I've actually just put a video out today, because I don't know if you've seen any of them.
I've seen it.
Have you seen any of them?
Yeah.
So I'll get a lot of people saying 2 things. A lot of people say, oh, it's always Liverpool that you do. Well, I live here.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a one-man band. And people go, yeah, but you always do Liverpool. Well, what do you expect me to travel to London for you to make a video? Like, what am I? I don't know if that's going to work.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I always make across. And then for other people who always, I get this all the time. You're lying. Your stories are bullshit. It's not true. I've never said that they are true. I've never ever, not once have I sat there and said, it's true. I'm not a historian. I'm not a fact checker. I'm a storyteller. I tell stories for entertainment purposes. Do I think some are lies? Yes. Do I think some are true? Yes. But most of the stories are sent to me claiming to be true, but that's as far as it goes.
That's all you're doing, just telling the story.
Yeah, but people
you haven't written them, have you? It's like...
No, and people say you make them up. I don't have time to make them up. I work 7 days a week. So I wish I don't have the time to do it. I haven't got it. I haven't even got time to I'm so busy. So I don't make them up. I don't just sit there and go, I'm going to make one about this. They are sent to me, or I do research them.
Yeah.
But I love them. And do you know what? People who say to me, it's always in Liverpool, I always recommend to other people, why don't you start doing it in your city? Because there's room for us all. There's room for everyone. So you do it in your style, and I hope that works.
Where you're from that area, or what city or town you're from.
Yeah.
Go and do it.
Just do it. Do you know what I mean? And I've had a lot of people reach out to me as well, which is really lovely, being like, would you mind if I start doing paranormal stories in Liverpool? And I've always said the same. There's plenty of room to go around. There's
plenty of pie for everyone, isn't there?
Yeah. So, I wouldn't go, I am the king of the paranormal, because I'm absolutely not. I'm just someone who enjoys.
But you're the voice of it, you know what I mean? It's like when you hear your voice in that. It's one of those where...
Do you want me to do the voice?
Yeah. Go on.
We're all waiting.
We need to talk about this picture. The Bold Street time slips strike again. So there is a certain voice to it. And people... I do get ripped for my voice a lot. People say I sound like Paul O'Grady. I don't think I do, but this voice got me somewhere. So if you don't like it,
use it to your advantage,
listen, I'm not. The brand wouldn't be the brand without the voice.
Yeah,
it wouldn't. And if people want to call it gay voice or whatever they want to call it,
listen. People will always what's the name and stuff like that.
People always do.
As long as you're happy doing what you're doing and you enjoy doing what you're doing, you're happy.
With what's been really difficult lately is, so last year I did lose 6 stone. So I'm on the jabs, on the weight loss injections. So I've had a lot of comments recently, in particular podcasts that I've done when I've been on Snippet, about my weight. So that does bother me. That's one thing that does bother me, because I think, how dare you comment on my weight? You don't know. They think they know what's going on behind the scenes. And they don't, it's, I always wanted to be very, very, very slim. That was something that I know it's not for, some people want to be muscly, some people are body positive that are bigger, and I support that too. And, but for me, I wanted a petite figure, and people like to mistaken that for some kind of disorder, where it's absolutely not.
Yeah. People will always, what's the name and stuff, and you know what I mean? It's just, like you say, and it does hurt, you know what I mean? There's so much you can put up with, but then again, you know, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't fucking say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not nice when it's about the way that you look, because I would never shame anyone. I would
No.
never shame anybody, like, ever. And don't get me wrong, we all see people online and I think, oh my God, but I would
You've got
never.
nothing nice to say, don't say it.
I wouldn't say it.
Of course,
Do
exactly.
you know what I mean? I wouldn't say it, but it's again, in a few years' time I'll understand it all.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
this is it. The paranormal passion, where did that come from?
So that's a really good question. So when I was a kid, I suppose it all come from like horror films and stuff. So as a kid, my parents would never let me watch horror films, and when I was wanting to watch like Nightmare on Elm Street when I was
I
like,
was about to say Freddy Krueger. I was about to say that
I
before.
love him. But I remember trying to get my mum to let me get Child's Play Chucky. Like, please, can I rent it? Please, I don't really want to see it. It just looked so exciting on the covers, like you remember the, you know, on the videos, and they were like, no, no, no. And I remember I started watching all the horror films and learning. It was the unknown, you know, like I was just really interested in it. I'd never, you know, a lot of people think because the content that I do that I'm a Satanist, and a lot of people think that I'm a psychic, and I'm not. I'm spirit, I like to think of myself as a spiritual person, but
You're not a psychic and stuff.
no, you know, I do feel things, but we all do. You know, if you walk into a room and two people argue, you know, and if there's no words,
The atmosphere is like,
no words need to be said, and everyone's got that ability. But I think to be a psychic, you have to be very good at it, and I don't believe 95% of the psychics I've seen. Don't believe them. But I was always interested in that unknown world, and always like what we can't explain. And I just thought it's just such and with ghosts or whatever you want to call them, it's discussed in every religion for thousands of years. Every single religion there's ghosts. So is there definitely no truth to that? That's exciting.
but that's what it's, you know, it's something that you've always been interested in, and there's loads of theories, and there's all this, that, and the other. But you know what I was going to touch on as well? You host a paranormal series on iPlayer.
Yeah.
What's that called? Currently, and you're filming season 2. You currently.
I am, yeah. So it is.
Can you talk about it, or?
I can. So it is Welsh.
Oh right, okay.
But when it's on iPlayer, you can have like English subtitles. So I'll say the name in Welsh because they will love this. So it's called Cysgu efo Ysbrydion, which translates to sleeping with ghosts. So we go to paranormal locations where we don't know. It's a bit like Most Haunted.
I was supposed to say with the vet, what's the name and stuff, who used to do that?
Minus Derek Okora, so there's no psychic. There's no psychic. So we go and stay in places, and it really is, we do not fake anything, because at the start of the series, I said to them, are we gonna fake it? Because if you want me to, I will. It's business. It's showbiz. It's business. And they were like, no, do it real. And I was like, are you sure? They were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, we'll do it real. And we did series 1, and we got nominated for Best New Presenters for that. And we went down to London for a ceremony, which was insane. And it was amazing because that TV company came to me and they said, we want to do something with you on TV, but we don't know what would be your dream show. Well, straight away, I was
Paranormal.
Welsh Most Haunted. That's what I want to do. I want to go and explore places. I want to be able to. So it's just been wonderful, and we've had so much fun with it. So I did episode 1 last week. I'm doing episode 2 the day after tomorrow. So I know the area that we're going.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure of the exact location, and I genuinely don't. But that is going to be out early next year.
That must make you so proud when, like, you got people coming up to you and saying we want to work with you, and you know what, you know that feeling inside where you're thinking all this, like the good, the bad, and the ugly you've been through. Like, talking about what you said and the bad times, and you know, feeling lonely, feeling lost, you know, nothing in the cupboards.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bounce back, and then you're doing like these type of things and stuff, and you're being recognised for what you know, what you're good at, and that must make you feel on top of the the world. You know what I mean?
It's just so nice, and it's really weird now because it's so big now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really big now. Like, I did a video last night. It's on like 1.4 million. And like that's just like normal numbers now, really. It's just like it's it's an amazing thing. But wherever you go, people recognise you for your work. And as I said, I'm not so much on the ego side of it. Don't get me wrong, it's lovely when people say they love your work, but I don't buzz about it. I don't go, I've just been recognised. I would rather someone say to me, I love your hard work, instead of, can I have a picture?
Yeah.
I don't mind getting a picture.
Yeah, cool.
I do it like nearly every day. But when someone says, I think your work is wonderful, and I think that does it for me.
No, that's brilliant. But you know what I want to speak to you about?
Yeah.
Me and Ben, our producer, we had Lewis Saunderson on.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
The crying TikTok
Yeah.
one, and like, it's like, what you're saying is like his views and his following and stuff like that, and some of the stuff he has to deal with, and
Yeah.
And he said, honestly, he's got to, because he done acting and stuff like that, and he said like he'd done a couple of decent things, and then he started making these videos on TikTok like yourself, and he said it blew up. And now he said what you said about the negativity, about the comments and stuff like that, where you can get some really horrible stuff where you're thinking, fucking hell. But he said, he's Tony Bennett, it just absolutely...
It helps.
It helps so much. But he was like yourself. He's got a lot of fans like yourself.
Yeah.
And he said there's no better feeling when someone says like, oh, I really enjoyed that video or that content.
And you can see it because like when I'm out with my friends all the time, like this really is like the most amazing thing. And do you know when someone sees you and you can see that they're so happy to see you? And I always, what's your name? Where are you from? And you
make a bit of a what's the name for them. And
you give them that 5 minutes, and you just can make people so happy. And I think that's how you should use it. Because a lot of people, me. I want this for free. I would never message anyone and ask for anything for free. Wouldn't do it. It's not my style. And people are like, oh my God, a lot of people, like content creators, they go places, and if they don't get recognised, they feel empty, and that's not good. But I've had a lot of content creators as well. They come to you to get something out of you, which you have to be so careful. They only get in touch when they want something, or they get a picture with you, so it kind of helps them, or what work they can get off you, and they disguise it with kindness.
It's sort of what's the name, that, isn't it? But I think yourself, you and you're onto people. You can wear people out like that, and it's unfortunately that's the society we live in today, where there's good things that you can. If you're my type of person, listen, networking is all about like helping one another.
It's a business.
It's and that's what you do. But when you've got people who are being sly and trying to backdoor people, and it's...
I'm still learning, to be honest. I am still learning. It's like a lot of people, they come into your life and they act like they really love you and they care about you, but really they're getting all kinds off you, and so you have to be so careful.
You've got to be on the ball, haven't you?
And the other thing is, don't get me wrong, I love having a big platform. I love seeing big numbers. Who doesn't love success, eh? But at the end of the day, they are numbers on a screen, okay? And it doesn't make me any different to any other human being. Doesn't make me different to the person that works in Home and Bargain. It doesn't make me any more important or any more special. It's figures on a screen, and it can go like that. So you never take it for granted, and always treat everyone the same, because if it's just...
Yeah, they can just happen like that, can't they?
Yeah. There's you just never know what can happen. That's why you just be careful how you treat people. That's
of course, yeah. That's the one, isn't it? What's been the good, the bad, and the ugly so far?
So, the good. Can the good be the proud?
The good, the bad, and the ugly of like so far, where you're at.
So far, I would say the good is building a life in Liverpool. It was the hardest thing coming here, not knowing not a soul. And I remember walking through Liverpool 1, because it just opened when I moved here, and I was thinking there is no way I'm ever going to know my way around this place. It's too big. It's massive. I'm not going to be able to do it. So to be able to build myself a life and a friendship circle and a career, that has been the good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bad, there's no such thing as bad.
Right.
There isn't. There's lessons. I feel the bad that there's been lessons that have been difficult, but I wouldn't
class it as bad.
I wouldn't class it as bad. I would class it as another gift. There's no such thing as bad, only if you make it bad. But the trying times, or I would say that has been the beginning of my journey in Liverpool, because that's when I experienced most change and discovering who I am and things like that. And the ugly has been definitely a lot of things that I went through that when I was younger, such as sexual assault and bullying. But in the end, again, that has been a good thing. So for me,
the way you've dealt with it and stuff like that, and
so for me, it's been the good, and the good.
No, that's brilliant. You know, it's one of them. But has there been a funniest moment or embarrassing moment that's happened while you've been filming content or while on set or anything?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't really get embarrassed. So with my content, so much is focused on it in Liverpool. So I've got it in my head that the only people that know me is in Liverpool. So I genuinely think, oh yeah, all my content's from Liverpool. No one has a clue I am outside Liverpool. And we were filming our series 1 of the Paranormal TV show, in Bala.
Yeah.
There, and small town, I think it is. And I was getting like stopped, being filmed, and I kind of realised, like, oh my God, people like watch me from not here.
It's not just in Liverpool. They recognise you.
I used to work when I used to do 9 to 5. I worked in Edinburgh, and I got stopped in the train station in Edinburgh, and that's when that was quite a funny feeling. Because you realise how powerful it is.
Yeah.
You don't realise how much people that is, do you?
No, but it's great that you're being recognised for what you do and stuff, and a lot of people love what you do. You know what I mean? And it's great that you're getting that love, and when you've got people who your followers or your fans basically, because everyone loves like what you're bringing to their, whether it's on their phones or on their iPads or it's on the TV screens, and you're being a big part of people's lives and stuff like that. But another thing I wanted to speak to you about as well, Ewan, balancing social life.
Balancing social life.
Yeah,
that's a really interesting thing. So, my social life now, I'm so different to what I used to be. In terms of, obviously, I don't drink alcohol. The only kind of substance I use, I am an open book. So I do use magic mushrooms.
Yeah.
But I don't use them. I do proper trip on them. But I don't use them for a sesh way or a celebration kind of way. I do it when I really need to do a lot of inner work, because I believe they're healing.
It helps you concentrate. It makes you or
it's more so like answers that I need. So a few months ago I did magic mushrooms, and you're going to think I'm absolutely crazy saying this. I cried for 6 hours straight, and it wasn't just like, it was like
sobbing,
like awful, and it was all about the way I'd treated people in the past, but it lifted some kind of energy out of my body. So, but then other times I'll do them with my friends.
Yeah.
We have a ball. Do you know what I mean? So but every time I just would not do anything else. I would do things like other psychedelics, but I do like doing mushrooms. But it's not often, to be honest. Every couple of months it is. But in my spare time now, I tend to do things. I do a lot of meditating. So I do a lot of, the past few months when I go to bed, I don't even watch TV really anymore. I go to the cinema a lot.
Yeah.
I have one of them passes where you pay and you get unlimited films. So any horrors, we go and see them. Me and Katie go and see them. Anything, we go and see as much as we can. But I'm happy with that little life, And I'm very, when it comes to like finance and that, I'm very wise with my money.
You're on the ball.
I'm on the ball. I don't let myself go without, but I don't flash because I'm not rich or anything, you know. But I don't, you know, we live in a society where we want to look rich. We want to wear a Rolex so we look like we have money. What for? But in terms of social life, what I'll do is I'll go to meditation class for 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
Go out for dinner, go to the cinema. And what's so nice about being self-employed with being a social media manager and then doing my own content is I work when I want, wherever I want. So today I went to work for 2 hours in a restaurant that I do social media for, and that was it. Tomorrow I'll go to work for about 4 or 5 hours and I'll be done.
But that's it, you know, you can look after, you know, you can manage your hours, you can do what you want to do and stuff like that. But
yeah,
life today,
well, life today is blissful. It's quiet. It can be chaotic. Like this Halloween time now, as you can guess, this is my busiest season. I'm very, very busy all the time. However, it's just happy, you know. When me and my friends get together, you know, don't get me wrong, we all love gossip, don't we? We all like have a little. I don't care what anyone says. But when we get together, most of the time we talk about how we're going to help each other, how we're going to help each other grow. We don't talk about how we're going to be horrible to people, anything like that. And when you get a group of people like that, you know, if you join a group of 6 alcoholics, you'll be the 7th. And my friends, you know, some of them still drink. They don't drink around me, they or anything like that. We have relationships where we do really healing things, meditation class, walks, being around nature, just little things like that. I feel like I know I joked earlier about being like a monk, but it is like that because I am disciplined.
That's what works for you though, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I haven't had a partner or been on a date or anything, not properly, to not kissed anyone in about 8 years now. And people go, how can you do that? Are you not, dying?
Yeah.
Are you not dying for? No, because I'm working so much on myself, and it's
when the time's right and whatever. And
I spent so many years lonely. But I'm an expert at it. I am an expert at it, and loneliness is addictive. And people say loneliness as if it's this big sad word. It can actually give you a lot of insight and a lot of wisdom, again, if you let it. So like I love spending time by myself. I prefer being on my own than with people. Like I'd much rather have. I like being with my music, with my books,
yeah,
with my crystals.
Yeah.
And I love, as I said, I get much more what people think's boring as I get older. I watch films in the cinema and things like that, but I don't really watch TV because I find things like, like Love Island and shit like that, it's brain rot things, and I would much rather put a meditation on and fall asleep.
Yeah, watching that. Like...
Yeah, I'm very, very. I do feel happy. I do. Like I have to say.
It's great that though, do you know what I mean? And being so open and stuff like that. When like you said about being like, you like being on your own and stuff. You've got your friends and stuff like that, and you make time and that. But you like your own company. Do you know what I mean? And that's great to hear that. And there's many people out there who like similar, like their own company, but they have friends, but they have time for themselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that.
It takes so much time to be happy by yourself. It takes a lot of deep inner work, a lot of like shadow work.
Yeah.
So you have to look into where you've got your weaknesses and things like that. And again, it's to do with all like the secret and that if you can be your own hero, you can have your dream life if you just decide to have it. And I know people say, oh yeah, you can't get a Bentley overnight. True. But
if you work towards it. And
listen, if you want something that bad, it doesn't matter what it is, you can have it. And like that is living proof with my career. Like I remember being like, I want 200,000 followers, and because I was so focused on getting it, what happens is it comes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's brilliant that
like,
you know.
Do you know the other night? Okay, I'll tell you a funny story. I went to see do you know Kerry Katona and Katie Price?
I seen your picture.
I went to see their show, and I got tickets to go in. Like I got like complimentary tickets, but I didn't have the meet and greet. It was sold out. I had no doubt in my mind.
You were going to meet the pair of them.
I knew it. I could feel it. Like I was like, I just know that I'm going to do it. And I pulled as many strings as I could. And because I put it out there, it come.
I seen your picture with them.
It come.
Was it a great night?
Oh, I was feral. I nearly fainted. I was just.
I was feral.
I was happier meeting Katie Price and Kerry Katona than I would be meeting, I don't know, Kim Kardashian. It was like, that just makes me happy. And but it just goes to show, like, if you want something bad enough, it wasn't using status or anything like that, because I'm not into all that.
No, but you...
But I was like, I just know I'm not. That's not meeting them isn't an option. I am meeting them. Even things like when you laugh at this one. So like, I love going to music gigs, and a lot of them, you know how hard it is to get tickets now, don't you?
Yeah.
Every single concert we've booked, we've got tickets because we know that we're gonna go.
You're gonna go.
Like so we went to see my favourite singer, Lana Del Rey. So we've got a tattoo here. And we went to see her in Anfield, so the tickets were... I've never seen anything like
Scary prices.
But listen, if you want something,
you
go and get it.
Yeah.
You go and get it, and it's just realising that, really, for me, it's just things like that. And when you get up of a morning, you can choose what basically kind of day you're gonna have.
Yeah.
You can.
Is it that, what's the name, manifest? You sort of...
It's a law of attraction, yeah.
So you sort of...
So basically, I do a lot of like something called scripting. So I actually plan my entire life. So I wrote down on a piece of paper last month, I'm so grateful. It's about writing it as if you already got it.
Yeah.
I wrote on a piece of paper last month, I'm so grateful that I've got 2 new social media clients. And I felt that gratitude a month ago. What happened this month? 2 come. 2, exactly what I wanted.
And it's happened for you.
It works with anything.
No, that's...
And even things like a lot of people think you're woo-woo, don't they? They think you're absolutely crazy. But even things like meditation. I remember a few months ago, I'd lost my keys in my house before I was going out. And I was, do you know what, they're like, you like that, aren't you? And I was like, right, stop. I meditated 5 minutes and I pictured where they were in my mind. Where were they? Where it was supposed to be.
Funny enough, you said that about keys. I've lost my keys, actually.
No.
In my house. I said this morning, my missus had gone to the gym.
Oh.
And I was trying, I couldn't get hold of her. And they were hanging up on Saturday before I went to match Saturday. And I still haven't found them, so what I'm going to do...
Maybe do just meditation.
But they were on there'll probably be a murder when I get him, because she'll say, you've lost them, but they were hanging up on the key holder.
They always... But yeah, like overall, like the power of your mind, you don't realise that up here it makes the decisions for your whole body, for your career decisions. So you've got to make this a healthy place to be. And if you're poisoning it with anything, because your diet isn't just what you eat, it's who you're talking to. It's of course it is what you eat, but it's who you're hanging around with, the music you're listening to. Do you know, if you're constantly listening to depressing music and singing it out,
that's what the type of...
You're bringing that vibe in.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that you're healthy, and, you know, don't get me wrong, like, no one's perfect. Like, I have Mackies and all that, do you know what I mean? But what I mean to say is, like, you know, we have to be... A lot of people think that being healthy is looking after your body, and it's not. It's there's a lot more to it than that.
Than just that, isn't there?
And it's even with alcohol and things like that, it's obviously with me not drinking, I'm not against it. Do you know what I mean? With alcohol, it doesn't go... If I'm preaching about meditation and crystals and being spiritual, I'm getting on it every weekend. Make it make sense. I have to live my truth, and my truth is being real all the time. I'm not... And see, even with, like, I don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with anybody eating animals, but something that was a phrase before it was murdered, I'm not putting that into my body, because that carries the vibration of death. So, do you know, if something was so scared before it died, it's not for me.
No, well, listen, that's, like you say, that's your, what's the name on it, and that's a great thing where, you know...
But we're all different.
Everyone's different, that's what I was going to say to you, and it's good that you put it like that, you know what I mean? Where, and there's many other people who probably agree 1,000,000%, you know what I mean?
But again, like, all my mates eat meat, most of my mates drink. and that's fine. But just for me
For you,
personally,
yeah.
that's just the way that I think, and we're all different.
Of course
and
we are.
and we should celebrate that.
That's brilliant. What's in the pipeline for you and Steffan?
In the pipeline. So I'm doing. So spooky season is coming up. So because my content's all horror based, I am going to every fucking Halloween thing you can think of. I'm doing Farmageddon,
Yeah. Newsham
Park, Camelot, Scare City, Scare Kingdom. I think we're working on getting Alton Towers. As well as that, I'm filming the season 2 of the TV show at the moment. So there's 3 episodes left. That's going to be out early next year.
Right.
That will be out early next year. And I have potentially got something else TV-ish coming up. But nothing, it's very early stages.
Can't really say too much at the moment.
I don't even know what it is properly myself. So, but I think like everything that I said that I wanted to do this time last year, I'm doing it right now. So everything I think, it always comes true. So what I would like is a little bit more TV work.
Yeah.
I would like it. And a lot of people always go, oh my God, you need to go on Big Brother or Love Island. No, I'd rather be known for work.
Yeah, for
actual work, not just standing there.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant.
You know.
Listen, Ewan, it's been really interesting getting to know the real Iwan Steffan.
Thank you.
Just not just through social media, finding out exactly about your life and what you've, having to go through and stuff like that, and being so open and honest. You know what I mean? And it was really interesting because, there was good, bad and ugly in there, and to where you're at in life now, and you seem very happy, and, you're doing what you love, you've got good friends, and, you're happy with what you're doing and stuff. And I just want to say thank you so much for sharing the good, the bad and the ugly. Thank you.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
It's nice to be on a podcast there, because everyone I've done, it's only been about like paranormal things. So it's nice to actually speak about life.
Oh no, it was
thank
brilliant.
you.
Thank you so much. That was brilliant.